welcome back. If you're joining us, you're tuned into the Foxworth Theory, and I'm your host, Eugenia Foxworth. And today's guest is LaVerna J. Fountain. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, I would like to continue with this interesting conversation. Can you share a top obstacle people face as they strive for meaningful communications?
Mm. I think people believe meaningful communications only means getting their own viewpoint across, not recognizing that communication truly does mean hearing, listening, and hearing others as well. I think it is ultra important that we be able to express our voice. That's a lot of stuff you hear nowadays. People say, let your voice be heard. We want to create a space for your voice. Well, your voice hasn't been at the table. Fortunately, the other day I saw something say, I've always had a voice. Y'all just haven't been listening. And I think that is probably more real. Like, people have voices. Um, Often what is not said is as important and is as valuable as what is said. And so we limit ourselves when we think that communications only means what you speak. I had the awesome privilege when I was substitute teaching of teaching autistic children. Oh, I got to tell you, that those experiences resonate so much with me because I had to try my best, and it was difficult to enter their world. And I had no training. So I didn't know what that meant. So I had to really settle myself down and pay attention to enter their world and to allow someone who communicated very differently than I did to communicate in their way. So having a meaningful then communication looks really different. It's hard work. I have to tell you, in Western Pennsylvania, and I'm not there, but in Western Pennsylvania, there was a billboard that someone had purchased. And on the billboard, it said, white people mean something too, or something like that. Like, white people matter too. That basically is what it. And I thought, oh, I just want to reach that person who spent money to say that. I want to understand. I tried. I contacted the media. I was trying to track this person down because I really wanted to listen. Because anyone who spends money to say that believes there's a reason to do that. And I wanted to hear what was underneath of the billboard, what was underneath that person's fear. um, I I had a cousin once who was the chief of police, and the Klan had ran him out of town. They took out a newspaper article, let him know the Klan ran the town, that he might be a police, but he was nothing according to them. And I thought, people are truly afraid of each other. I I, I don't know why. It's a foreign concept to me, and I'm saying part of this to you because I know you also have the privilege of being around culturally diverse people all the time. Like, you're a global megastar, quite frankly, in your arena, and you can communicate with people from all backgrounds. That does not come easy. You have to be willing to recognize, and I found it actually with you, so I'm saying this. I had to really listen to you, and I recognized that I was in the presence of someone who could teach me so much if I was just willing to listen. And so I am so grateful to you because you accepted me as I am. You never knocked me. You never told me I wasn't good enough. You simply accepted me. And I was floored by that and grateful for it. I don't know.
Well,
That's
I'm grateful, and you're making me ruin my makeup. This isn't natural. It really isn't. And I didn't bring my Q-tip that I learned from someone on TV. That is quite a compliment, but you were just the person that I admired when I saw you. I mean, so, and I admire lots of people that other people, there was once something that was said where my office is located. And I walked by these people that were out there morning, noon, and night whenever I came by on the street. And I overheard one of the young men say, she treats us like we're real people. And
oh,
that was near City College, because that's, where my
yes,
office,
yes.
and it broke my heart. And I started realizing the pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, so I understand, and what you're doing is just going to benefit so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say the answer is in the room,
Mm-hmm.
how do you help people find that answer?
I have to tell you a story of the answers in the room. I used to work for Save the Children and the International Child Relief Organization, and I worked all over the country. And I worked with very poor communities on the Indian reservations, on in the Mississippi River Delta, in Appalachia, and the stories were so similar. And I worked in LA with some gang members, Florida. So when you listened, you would realize the circumstances may have been just a little different, but the desires were the same. The pain was the same. And I had a boss, and we used to get together in a room, and people would drive me crazy in the room. They would get on my nerves, and the people who wanted me to, do certain things, it just irritate me. And she would say, the answer's in the room. The answer's in the room. And it really meant listen, because within each of us, there is a piece of the answer. And I deeply believe that. But you have to quiet yourself to hear it. The answer rarely screams at you. The answer is within us. I happen to have a spiritual belief that God is in me. And for those of us who would say they're Christian, that's my belief system. But I can hang out with anybody, and I've been blessed to hang out with people who have very different spiritual belief systems, including atheists and agnostics, and Muslims, Jewish people, everybody, Buddhist, Hindu. I have been so blessed. And if you listen to what people are saying, the answer is in us. The answer is in the room, and the room is in you. And so, what you learn is set aside quiet time, ask the question. You may not get the answer immediately, but you don't give up. Keep asking that question and quietly listening. And our brains are truly magnificent. Our spirits are unbelievable, which is why you and I get along, because our spirits connect. Our spirits are unbelievable. Our spirit will just reach out with compassion and with love and with understanding. Our spirits, our spirits really do that. Our spirit is looking for the similar energy in you. The terminology namaste, namaste. The God in me sees the God in you. The light in me bows to the light in you. It is a recognition that we are mirrors of each other, that what I see in you, that I love about you, is in me. And what I struggle with in you, I struggle with in me. That is what it means to say the answer is in the room. And so we have to create space to allow ourselves to hear that answer. The still small voice will speak to us.
Yes, 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 yes. And it is true. And many of my viewers know that it is true. Some of my interns are probably going, see that? She's always telling us this. So, so I would also like to say, um, tell me about the programs you have established as a part of your consultancy. I know I wore a T-shirt one time with all kinds of writing on me that got a lot of attention.
Which T-shirt did you do? Did you do the one did I send you the one where the mothers were the mothers
Yes,
were? That's it.
yes,
Listen,
yes,
there are times when I want to do something and all I can do is put it on something. So I actually when we were having all of the Black Lives Matter demonstrations, I was too old to get out there and protest. Listen, I was not going to. I had done my walking too many times, and I was like, there was no one that was going to pick me up if I fell. So I said, I cannot do that. But what I can do, and I got a bunch of women who were over 50, and we were like, we're gonna go stand on the corner with our mothers praying for our sons and daughters, you know. And I on the back of it, I'd come across this website where there were the names of all of these Black men and women who had been killed, and it just enough. We've had enough. Stop it. No more. No more. So I had a bunch of T-shirts done. It's just like, listen, I had signs made, and my signs simply said, "You matter." I was not doing Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, or All Lives Matter. I wasn't doing that. And I took a lot of flack for that. I want you to know people were very upset with me for that. What I did do was "You matter." And I had signs made that said, "You matter." For me, that was critical. "You matter" meant I'm not taking anyone's viewpoint on this other than that you, the individual, you matter. What you, the individual, do in life matters. How you respond matters. What you do with your life matters. It literally is about you, the individual. And "You matter" continues for me. "You matter" is about helping people. Well, I forget if it's Rumi or not. It may be Rumi. It may be another great philosopher, poet who said, when I was younger, I tried to change the world by, telling other people what to do. Now that I'm older and wiser, it's me who I want to change. And that's a paraphrase, but that's it. It's
yes.
the individual, right? I, I, I've got to deal with this heart. I've got to deliver anytime something is happening. I have to deal with who I am and how I respond because I can control nothing else. I have to do this. I belong to a loose network of people from all across the country. It's called Crossroads and Connections. In it, we do book studies. We've been doing, I think we're getting ready to do the 17th book study on white fragility. We're getting ready to do, I do this sacred listening sessions for them. We're getting ready to do Cast, a book study in May. We look at 4 basic areas right now. We work to stop violence as much as possible, anti-violence. We work for environmental justice. What can we do to create and promote a quality environment for all? We are focusing on judicial reform. So we really are working a lot in the areas that we can control about ourselves.
And that's great. And about, I'm your fan club. But you have authored 2 books. And if you can tell me quickly about your book, The Alphabets of Life, A Simple Guide to Simply Living, and The Gold Coins, Supernatural Adventure Inspired by True Events, published under your pen name, Salaya Friend.
Mm-hmm.
Could you do that
Yeah.
within
So the Alphabets of Life is old. I wrote it in 1999. And I have to tell you, I wrote it because I thought I was dying. And it was before people understood Lyme disease. And so the doctors did not yet know what was wrong with me. I woke up, my legs would no longer work. And so lots of tests, people still didn't know, and I assumed if I was dying, I thought, well, if I'm dying, let me leave behind something for my son. And so I wrote the Alphabets of Life, and it's a simple guide to simply living, meaning people just live, just simply live your
And
life.
exactly. And your gold coins, which I
And
have
the
and given to people.
Thank you. The Gold Coins is this weird book. And so I'm very clear. I tell people, listen, it's weird, but it's my life. Okay. It's based on my life and the weird things that happened in my life. And so I could pretend like I just made it all up, but I didn't. And they made me put it under a pen name because, well, I told some stuff that people couldn't handle. And it really is about being willing to walk a supernatural life in a natural environment. And I believe that I'm still there. Like I still look for the supernatural in the natural. And some of that sounds woo. I have a lot of woo woo friends, by the way. I love my woo woo friends because they'll allow me just to express all of my woo woo ness. But if you can recognize nature and the supernaturalness of nature itself, to go out in nature is to really embrace the supernatural. We take we kind of take for granted things like the wind and the rain, but to me that's like amazing. It's amazing stuff that happens. And so the gold coins is based on that. It is based on these unbelievable things where the quiet still voice would speak to me and guide me, and these unbelievable experiences would happen.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you. And my last question in closing is, what resources can we look forward to in your practice for this year?
Oh, I will tell you, I am actually in North Carolina right now doing taking some time to really hear. So I don't really know. I am literally doing what I advise people to do. I'm moving into my quiet space to hear what I'm supposed to do.
And it works.
I cleared my calendar. I am working with a group in New York, BRC. BRC does they build homeless shelters, and one of the places they are building one at up in Inwood, and they discovered it was an African burial ground. And so I did a lot of sacred listening sessions with them. And it's an organization that I will continue to work for because I believe they're doing sacred work and acknowledging people who otherwise get ignored by society. So I know I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue in some way to do the listening sessions because we have to learn how to hear each other. And unless the spirit told me no, I'll keep doing that. Um, it's just starting to bubble up that I need to write a little bit. So that's just starting to bubble up. So I'm listening. I still am doing work with Columbia. So I'm just open. I think I've not been here before at this space because I'm at this space of, okay, what do you want me to do, God? Just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it.
And that is the best thing for all of us to say and to do.
Mhm.
Uh, and can you just tell me which internet uh, or websites you can be reached?
Yes, if people want to reach me, they can go to iamljfountain.com. IamLJFountain.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hmm.
I want to thank everyone for joining us today on the Foxworth Theory, which airs every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Thank you for joining the Foxworth Theory. Thank you,
Thank you.
LaVerna.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eugenia. Thank you.